Howdy, my name is John Wesley Hammond. I'm in your English 231 class. Uh, we're kind of wrapping up. This is Chapter 8, and Chapter 8 was primarily just a conclusion, more reflection over kind of all the things we had been really touching base on throughout the semester. So I guess let's kick it off. So with the first kind of right off the rip, the first kind of thing that struck me was technology only moves in one direction forward. That was kind of the primary gist of the Unabomber's statement that you put in the chapter, and it's entirely true. I was initially thinking, I was trying to figure out ways to refute it, but it's impossible. You can't. This can be viewed both as computers, smartphones, technology, video games. They're only going to get better. They're only going to improve. The only area I was able to try and think of refuting would possibly be atomic energy, but even that has continued to improve and thrive, uh, going from weaponized, weapons of mass destruction to nuclear energy and beneficial for the public, non-weaponized sector. And so I believe this is a quote from yourself. The smartphone is a behavioral addiction. We must learn to manage destructive behaviors that are unavoidable. Uh, that is even more agreeable when we were kind of at first going into trying to be self-aware and limit how much we were using. I really realized that that was a big vocal point because you can't avoid it. You can't avoid your phone. You're still gonna have to answer texts and phone calls. So I found that to be pretty interesting. Self-awareness is definitely the first kind of true step to combating this issue. Uh, and I remember kind of later on, you kind of went into detail about designating technology-free zones. For myself, this is actually a technology-free zone, or really not even that. It's a smartphone-free zone in which usually this is my office right here where I'm sitting, and my bed is right over there. So what I ended up doing is I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, huck it over there. I can't see it, out of sight, out of mind. No notifications, no sound. Um, because usually when I'm over here in my little kind of office doing homework, I need the uh, best concentration possible in order for me to kind of fulfill my assignments to the fullest, as well as just trying to get as much stuff done as possible. With me working full time, I need to maximize how much time I can use doing homework instead of doing like a little essay or something and then kind of getting distracted on my phone for God knows how long, maybe 20, 30 minutes, and then you look up and you're like, wow, where's the time gone? Uh, and kind of later on, you were kind of going into how a lot of pediatricians were kind of like their opinions regarding who should use smartphones at what age and how long they should be using them for. Growing up, I mean, my dad's, I guess, technically part of the boomer generation. He, well, with me having five other brothers, he always forced us, like when we were young, he always forced us to limit video games to 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe an hour at most, in which we'd have turns. Therefore, limiting the use of how much we can play video games. But it wasn't just to limit us, playing the game and, saving ourselves, but it was more inadvertently for just to give everyone a chance to play the video game and give them a fair turn and chance. But also later on, I was actually, me personally, I was not allowed to have an iPhone until I was the age of 16, or technically, as my dad said, until I started driving. So when I was 15 and a half, yeah, actually, yeah, I was right around 16. I got my first smartphone, it was iPhone 3GS. This was back when still the iPhone 5 was out, so I was a little bit technologically underpowered on that one. But it really kind of taught me a lot. I was able to enjoy my childhood at a young age and fully enjoy it without the use of smartphones. And just like there are certain areas in which it would have been helpful indefinitely, but it was just nice to kind of actually have a complete childhood without technology. And now I'm realizing how blessed I was that when I was that age, I didn't really care. All I wanted was a smartphone. And I don't know, that's kind of what I summed up with that. And I don't know, it's just this semester's been interesting. Never really thought of my use of smartphones being as controlling as it originally was. I always thought it was kind of under control. I had the power to do it until we started doing these social experiments, starting to try and limit how long we can go without the use of our smartphones. And it really kind of taught me a lot regarding how connected we really are to these things and how unavoidable it is to use these things. But it was an interesting semester. I appreciate it. And kind of taught me a lot with this. And it's actually something I'll carry forward with me after the semester's over, is just kind of keeping track and making sure I'm not overusing my phone as much as I once was. I'm now kind of a lot more self-aware than I originally was uh, with regards to overuse of smartphone and really just any other technology. Anyways, I appreciate it. Have a nice semester. Thank you.